Hello, everybody. It's Jane. Hey. Happy Thursday. Oh my God, I'm laughing because I've got my cameras are far away from me because in our membership, we're working on a painted tapestry. So it's large. So I had to put my upper camera like so high above my head that I'm trying to reach it and I'm trying to reach this other one and I think I pulled a muscle. But anyway, hi you guys. Hi everybody. It's been a while, right? It's been a few weeks. I had my chopper, my crown done. I never had a crown before. And then I got sick. There was some virus going around. It wasn't COVID for me. But man, it was brutal. Really, really brutal. But I'm back. And I've been playing a lot of catch up. So I wanted to finish this really pretty project that we started. Remember our frame, and you can find the first part of this over on YouTube, Surface Anthology on YouTube. I hope that you subscribe and click to get notifications. Same thing with my page. Shannon, how are you? How's your new job going? It's like everybody's schedules are crazy for one reason or another, right? Oh, and this heat, the heat. I feel like Elaine on Seinfeld when they go down to visit Jerry's parents in Florida and they won't put the AC on and she's just croaking. And I've got my AC on and I just can't deal with it. But I want to show you guys how to use some different colors of waxes together. Now, I could stop. There's no need to even finish this. I used Amy Howard at Home One Step Paint, and this of course is one of my favorites, Lake Como Nights. It looks beautiful with gold. The gold brings out that blue in this paint, and it's a paint that has a built-in top coat, though it's a true chalk paint. And of course the gold leaf is fine because it's a frame. I'm not going to be handling it. Hey, Cheryl. Good to see you. Is this our curly hair weather, Cheryl? I was out and, in about an hour, and I had a debacle. I put foils in my hair this morning and that was a whole thing. But I felt like after coming out of the last 2 weeks, my hair looked drab. So I'm in there with foils and bleach and the dog's barking. And oh my goodness, it's just been a day, I'll tell you. Danielle! How are you feeling? How's it going, Danielle? Listen to your doctors, right? It's so good to see you. Oh, honestly, I feel like I've been, I don't know what, like in the stratosphere for a while. Shannon's saying it's been interesting. Co-workers showed up drunk. Oh, working the Sunday morning shift. Was your coworker out the night before? Obviously drinking, right? Oh, man. That's brutal. And I have to say, we laugh, right? But for somebody to show up tanked at work, something's going on, right, Shannon? Oh, man. I hope they're not driving or anything like that. And Cheryl saying the humidity is on down here, full force. Oh, you know it. It's unbelievable. Danielle saying, I just got washed up and dressed. Yay! Hey, Julie, good to see you. It's so nice to see everybody, right? Anyway, I could just sit here like, where's my pina colada and, schmooze, right? Danielle wants to know what she does for a living. Your coworker was drunk. Oh, man. Brutal. All right, you guys. Let's do a little work, right? So everybody asked me, honestly, it's along with where do, I find the time. And by the way, thanks to you that have answered questions, because I want to get to know more about you guys. What are you really wanting? What are you really wanting to learn? What's something that you get, you know, every time you get to it, like maybe picking a color or finishing, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but what do you find yourself getting stuck on, you know? Because when I was in my shop and when I had in-person workshops, it was obviously really easy. And, you know, to talk to people about what's going on with them as far as painting goes and all of that. So, yeah, thanks for answering. I'm looking at this. Shannon saying, Danielle, so glad you're up and moving. I had mine out too when I felt so much better once healed. Danielle, if you guys want to share, I don't want to share what's going on. So if you want to share, but I know people are going to be curious, right? All right, let's get to waxing. So this kind of paint doesn't need to be waxed. I'm doing this purely because I just want to give it a little bit more dimension, okay? So I've got my cardboard palette. Oh, and by the way, look at this. I was using this the other day, a little show and tell. When I was in Italy, all I bought was papers, and I did buy some gold, pens, pencils, but look at this pencil. Isn't it fabulous? And this is the sharpener. It's all wood. It's really heavy. Look at the graphite in there, but it's really cool. I just love this. I've had it for years. I use it all the time. All right, so I've got my cardboard palette. Now I'm using DIY wax. I love it. I love it, love it. What a relief, you know. Every time I try out a new line, my biggest concern, believe it or not, is the wax. Okay, so there's some clear. Don't work out of your jar because you'll just mess it up. So first thing I'm gonna do, and I always do this, I always use a slip coat. Actually, 99% of the time, there's a combination that I love. When I have a deep, deep navy blue, I'll use a black wax right over it. And I love that. I love that. So I don't use a slip coat. Okay, Shannon's saying, okay. Danielle's saying, she had her gallbladder out. Everybody who has had their gallbladder out, raise your hand. That's me. Oh, I remember my surgeon, oh, you're going to hop out of bed the next day. Oh my God, I was in agony. Isn't the pencil cool, Shannon? I know, right? It's called the Vittorio Martini. I need a martini. So anyway, you love the DIY wax too, Danielle, right? Everybody's saying hi. So I'm going to apply a slip coat. Which brush should I use? I think I'm going to use this one. And I always use a natural bristle brush. I have seen some people using synthetic brushes, like, and correct me if I'm wrong. You too, Julie? Oh my goodness. Thank God for surgery, because the pain was bad. I'm like, thank God for surgery and toilets, right? Plumbing. Shannon's raising her hand. I think Cheryl still has her gallbladder. Good for you, Cheryl. We're losing body parts. But I've seen people using synthetic bristle brushes. I think some of them have been DIY brushes. Now I'm not 100% about that, but I always use natural bristle brushes. I just find they hold up. Hey, Diana, how are you? Good to see you. I find that the natural bristle hold up because they're much stiffer than like a synthetic bristle brush. So first thing I'm gonna do, no problem in this heat and humidity, to get the wax to kind of emulsify, right? So I'm just pushing that around. And hey, by the way, did you guys get notifications that I'm on? Let me know if that whole notification thing worked. And I'm brushing on an even coat. Nice and even. Now you'll see with this, there's some crackling in there because I put this paint over many layers of different things and it made that nice crackle. And I'm going right over the gold leaf. I'm just going right over and around. You could also glaze for this effect. Use a true, you know, poly kind of glaze. But you know me, I love the wax. Okay, so I've got a slip coat, and what this does for me is if I apply too much of the dark wax, I could take a cloth and wipe it away because I've got that coat of clear wax, so the paint won't bite, right? That it won't take in that dark wax. It just gives me a little insurance. Okay, now let's mix up a color. You did. Danielle got notified. Hey, Royce, good morning. I know. Royce is saying, I haven't seen you in my feed for a long time. I had dental work done, a crown put on, which was, it was painful. It's the first time I've had something like that done. And then I got sick. And I was just feeling awful. So yeah, I'm back. But we're talking about, Royce, I don't know if you have your gallbladder, but we're all raising our hand who's had their gallbladder out because Danielle is home recovering. She just had her gallbladder out. Crackle, right? I know. Royce, the crackle, there it is. And I love it. I can't get enough of it. That's why I love milk paint. Diana's doing great. So nice to see you. We are here praying power stays on. Yeah. Diana, where are you? Severe thunderstorm warnings and under a tornado watch. Oh my God. 100-kilometer winds possible. Yikes. That's brutal. That's brutal. Oh. Yes. Thank you, Royce. I know. I'm feeling a lot better. Thank goodness. Diana, I hope you're okay. One of the reasons I'm on today is that I'm in Connecticut, you guys, and I'm sure you've seen the flooding. I feel like everywhere around the country we're going through some stuff with the weather, right? And tomorrow we're getting more rain. Now, I live on top of a hill, and I've got a brook that goes around. But for our friends that are like in Vermont, that are kind of below, you know, in the valleys, they had some major flooding. So I hope everybody's okay. Now, what I'm doing here, this is the dark brown. And this, you know, again, it's the DIY wax. So I put a little bit of that dark brown down. And then because I'm not a huge fan of just brown, I like to add a little bit of black to kind of cool it off a little bit. So I'm going to add a little bit of black to that. Let's see if I can show you guys. They're very close. DIY's brown is pretty cool, but there are some really, really warm brown waxes. And this is just such a great thing to do to cool them off if you don't like that. Eastern Ontario. Yes, unheard of weather here. I know, it's brutal. I hope you're okay. So you must be above New England, right? Oh, and people are wishing Danielle a speedy recovery. Shannon is asking, have you tried the shipwrecked wax? Yeah, I haven't yet. And I love it, right? But I keep ordering it, getting it, and selling it. So I'm afraid to open one because I said somebody's going to order it and it's going to be my last one. So I have to try that. We'll do a tutorial. It's beautiful wax. I love that color. I love turquoise. Okay, and I'm using just a little, really old natural bristle brush. And now I'm going to make my color. And I'm actually not going to use my brush to mix it. I'm going to use my tongue depressor. And I'm going to mix the black and the brown into the clear. And this is a great way to glaze if you're like me and you don't like to use polyurethanes and all of that. All right, so now there's the color. Woo! Right? So let's see what it looks like on our frame. I've got my cloth just in case. You've never tried it. All right, Shannon. So that's the next thing I'll do. I'll pop open a jar of the shipwrecked, because it is. It's like a patina color. It's beautiful. Diana saying just above northeastern New York State. Yeah. Yes. Tornado on the ground 45 minutes north of me just a few minutes ago. So watching to keep distracted. Oh gosh, I'm glad I can distract you. Yeah, and Chicago got slammed. Chicago. Oh, all right. Now, this is already actually almost dry. I usually don't even wait for it to dry, but you know what I say to everybody? Test, test, test. Okay. There we go, right? I might have to mix more up. So I'm just gonna go around. I gotta get this down. How many of you are mixing up your waxes? How many of you wax? I know sometimes, look, it's already starting to give it that really, it just gives it some more dimension. But are you guys comfortable using waxes? Oh, look at everybody's really, I just love this group. You're all very, very sweet. Okay, so there it is. I've got it covered, right? And now I just have to tweak it. Just get it where I want it to go. And I've got my cloth. But what I do is I kind of move my brush in the direction of the grain of the wood. And make sure everything is covered. Right, so there it is. And then if this is too much for you, if it's like, it's too dark, grab your cloth. Danielle said, I will wax and mix my own waxes sometimes, right? Just like paint, you could really have fun with waxes. Okay. So I'm lifting some of this off so that it kind of goes into the crackly texture. Right, so you see the difference there? Uh-oh. There goes my light is freaking out. Can you guys see that? Now this is the psychedelic hour. Oh my God, I hope it doesn't explode. All right, let me just finish before that happens. Now, when you're going around the molds, get the dog hair out, that helps. Just take your time. The wax, you've got a lot of open time, meaning it's wet, you've got time to play with it, tweak it, even on a big piece of furniture. When I was doing a lot of custom work and work for my shop, I use this finish all the time. And you see what I'm doing? I'm wiping the wax away. Hey Rose, how are you? Good to see you. Rose is down in Texas, right Rose? How is it down there? Is it hot? It's got, why am I asking, is it hot? Now I'm wiping it off the gold too. And you gotta keep turning the cloth. And if you find, I just love this look. This light, now I'm gonna take it and throw it right off the roof of my house. But I love this look. It's still shiny. You still see that beautiful Lake Como blue-gray, but it's got some more depth, right? If you get to the point where, say this dries, and you can, this always goes for furniture, and you feel like I have got too much dark wax on there. Remember, we use that slip coat. All you have to do is take a cloth. Now again, this is on dry wax or wet wax. Dip it into the clear wax and go over the area you want to soften. It will reactivate the wax. The wax underneath is clear, so you don't have to worry about the paint being stained by the dark wax, and you can just lift it off. Yucky. Oh, Rose, it's so hot with a bit of humidity, right? Add it in. I know it. Oh, I'm seeing fall. I'm seeing, right? Pumpkins and stuff. We're all wanting that, I think. Okay, that's it. Now I kind of go in, play around. You can also get a small clean brush like that and go in and kind of mess around with the look of, you know, the areas around the molds. But that's how easy this is. And it's done. Look at the light. Oh my gosh, I wish I could turn this off. Hey, Sandy. So you guys, that is it. Thank you so much for joining me today. Oh, I hope that, I'm gonna go down and have a glass of ice water. Danielle, I hope you're have a really speedy recovery, right? It seems like you're on that way. And I think Danielle's a nurse, so she's listening to her doctors and she's listening to herself. I find nurses do most of the care anyway. Isn't that awful? It's not awful that they do it, but I feel like, I don't know. The doctors seem to take the credit sometimes, right? It is pretty, right, you guys? Thanks so much for joining me. And again, thank you for answering all my questions as I try to really feel out what's going on with you guys as far as decorative furniture painting goes. Yes, definitely. Oh, Cheryl saying stay safe, everybody. Absolutely. Don't mess around. If you're in a flood zone, don't say I'm going to stay. Get out. If you have anything, the other thing is, if you have stuff in your basement that's maybe, you know, photographs, anything like that, if you have time, move it to high ground and then get out of Dodge, right? And everybody be safe and take care. And you're doing what you should do, right? Oh, thanks, Diana. She's going to grab a glass of wine. All right. Everybody take care. I won't be on tomorrow. We are getting those storms, but I will see you all next week. Thanks for joining me. Thanks, Rose. Take care, everybody. Stay cool.